Hey Spikers to me or Demon Science, it's me, Spikers with us here, coming to a video. In this video, I am going to be doing video game bosses as monsters. And two of them are Techno Worms ones, because I haven't used a Techno Worm for a while. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, let's roll into it, let's get into this video, and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, it's me, Karma, and I'm going to be talking about some monsters I've recently found, and two of them are, well, from an expertise I do not really fully understand. That of the Techno Worms, little techno-organic symbiote-like creatures, kind of like parasitic if you once you were to think about it. But anyways, these creatures are fairly brutal. Most of the ones I'm talking about today, anyways. One of the Techno Worms and one of the actual creatures aren't as brutal as the other two, but still quite brutal compared to their, counterparts in the wild and, well, their settlements. Anyways, the first one is a creature I've recently found, which is a scaled hound. Scaled hounds are pretty much draconic hounds, but no, not as powerful as some of the other ones. But this one is actually quite more powerful than an actual dragon it is related to. Notice the llama vomiting blade tail scaled hound, or the lava vomiting scaled hound. Like the name suggests, it has a lot of scales all over its body, but they're more like spikes because they just jut up and just cover that area of it. There's still a decent amount of fur on the creature. Sorry. Like I was saying, there's a decent amount of fur on the creature, but there is a lot of spikes on it. And like the name suggests, it can vomit up lava. And this lava is actually quite hotter than your usual lava. It can melt down pretty much any blade it comes in contact with. With some near melting points to some domestic blades. I've experimented with this lava, and I found it actually is the center, well, about half the center of the sun level of hot. That's directly of its mouth, for the record. Before you ask how I learned that, I may or may not have managed to collect a llama vomiting the magic sac from the creature's mouth. Very limited use from this thing, but I made a lava flamethrower. Let's just say the last creature that got in my way because of that, well, they turned out to a little burnt. Good meat, though. Tooth. How did that get there? Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Okay, as for the next creature, it is more of the humanoid side, and it's actually fairly reasonable. Unlike the lava vomiting skill hound, which you can domesticate with a lot of time and effort, these dragon humanoids are a lot more hard to not domesticate but understand. What I mean by that is that they can understand common pretty easily, but they are also very violent creatures. They try to seduce princesses in general, like this one who is literally known as Bowser. He's one of the bigger ones of their kind. Not many people follow him, but there are some smaller creatures related to them that do follow them. And trust me when I say that those things are a little nuisance. These creatures are known as the colossal spike shell dragon humanoid, or the colossal dragon humanoid. They rarely wear like restraints or something like collars or something around their. It's like a choker around their neck, and then they have like one on their shoulder, one on their like at their elbow, and one around their wrist. Like I can't really put it correctly, but they're like chokers, but they're also like bracelets. They're pretty much 7 of them. You can find them on 3 on either arm. And that choker one I told you about. The underside of their shell that you can see from the front is actually a tannish yellow color, but the back is a green color. There's 9 spikes on it, but you can only see 4 from jutting out from the sides. These guys are known to spit fireballs when angry, but also have the ability to, grow colossally huge. And that's how they got their name, the colossal spiked shell dragon humanoids. Now, for the record, they're not called dragonoids because that's a half human, half dragon. Or they could be called a dragonborn, but these creatures are actually really closely related to dragons. They're not half dragons either. It's really hard to put it. They are like you would take a dragon's energy layout and just make it more human-like without using any human energies or any human genetics. It's the best way I can put it. The best way I can put you is a dragonoid is a mix between a human and a dragon. A half dragon is a dragon, is pretty much the diluted bloodline of a dragonoid. Still keep it quite powerful, but some of them have an interesting ability. The best one I can give you is Lucinosetta from the Boiling Isles. She is a half dragon, but man, oh man, is she powerful. I'll tell you all the rest later. Okay, now we're going into the realms of the actual creatures where I don't have a lot of expertise in. But from what I could tell, these limbs are actually separated. It's known as the brain monster Techno Worm. Or the Braidster. The Braidster Techno Worm. Let's just say that for the most part, this thing is biological, metal, and electronics. I'm going to pass this over to my friend Techno Worm Cole, or just better yet, known as Cole, to fully explain this creature. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Karma. Sorry. Okay, anyways, this creature is, like you just said, known as the Brainster Techno Worm. And this creature has 2 appendages on one side. On its left side, to be more accurate. They're like praying mantis arms, the best way to put it. The thing's leg is also made in such a way that it's merely good for jumping. And it appears that the one arm and a section of their left, from like a little bit below the elbow and up, it's where their biological hand is still there. It's like their skull has been busted open, revealing their brain, which is still kept up by the Techno Worm. Like the Techno Worm, you can actually see them on their center of the chest. They have little cables connecting to their body and to their limbs. And on their leg, you can actually see a hunk of flesh and muscle, which is funny enough, a secondary heart for them. So this is where they need it. Of course, they can easily move it, but they have a very strong, thick carapace, which is actually almost as strong, if not stronger, than the actual, actual core of the Techno Worm. And the core of the Techno Worm is still there, and they would just have to move it around a whole lot. The best way to deal with it is just to place it in a place that it would be very hard to hit. These creatures are also... This creature is... Well, I say these and this. It's really just one creature that is really fast. But there's also been multiple sightings of them at once. So I'm starting to think there's multiple. I can agree with you there, Cole. It's really weird. Also, I have literally found one of these things, killed it, and then next day, I found another one. They're found in the mountains a whole lot. They're very strong jumpers, to put it the best. Okay, Cole, Karma, I think we should go on to the next one. This one is very important. Yeah. So, Cole, why is this one so important? Let's just say, from what I can understand about this creature, it is a, calamity. Is the best way to put it. What do you mean by calamity? This character, well, yeah, there's this character from my dimension that is, a game character known as Calamity Ganon. He is the main boss in the Breath of the Wild. Let's just say that, the last creature we were talking about seems pretty much similar to the Primogen, who was the boss monster in the, in a game. I don't really remember what game it was from. Well, this creature is, let's see what they're called. They're known as the mechanical Techno Worm, or the Techno Worm. And funny enough, you are right about this. They are known as, their name is actually Ganon, but they're actually more of a peaceful person. Yeah, both of their arms are weaponry, but they have the ability to shift the lasers into actual hands, and they do actually have a mechanical claw they use to help people out of and guide them through the mountains, which is where they live. They have more of a steampunk aesthetic, from what I can tell. Let's see. Yeah, that is definitely a steampunk aesthetic, but there's also this picture of a humanoid Ganon I found someone drew. People draw fan art of these creatures. Best way to put it. And yeah, it's weird, but trust me, this one and this Techno Worm and its host actually seem to have a relatively good bond with one another. Hey, Tekka, can you tell me if there's anything about this guy? Well, I just see that, according to the picture, it's actually a Techno Worm, but it actually has 2 eye centers, or 2 cores. Now that's interesting. Why is that, Cole? It's interesting because there's no real such thing as a Techno Worm that has 2 bodies like this. Well, 2 eyes. One eye is usually just for show, and the other one is just a blinking light. But for most, one's bigger than the other, but these 2 are about the same size, indicating that they're about the same in energies. I think I understand something. Tekka, are there by any chance some rare subspecies known as the 2-eyed Techno Worms? Matter of fact, there is. They're very powerful and very rare, but they are incredibly powerful. I myself have the ability to evolve into one, but it's still going to take a while for me to actually get the programming needed, and the best way to do it is via a lot of experimenting and absorbing machines. But according to this creature, it was born like this. Now, this is interesting. But this is all for the logs I can handle for now. Yeah, that's all for everything today. Bye. Bye, Karma. Well, that's all for today's video, and I hope y'all enjoyed. But until next time, subscribe to the channel, Spike Stummy, or Demon's Alliance. Goodbye, and peace out, everyone.